Let's look a little bit more closely at what you can do as far as viewing the student, their screens and what they're doing. So we've gone over how this shows their screen view and the tabs that they have open. If you point at these tabs, then you should get the actual web address. So if you don't recognize the icon, this is a way you can do that quickly. You can also, if you remember, if I click on these anywhere in that area, it's going to give me this full screen of what the student is seeing. Let's go back for just a moment. If you have more than what you can see here, so if there's a +3 or something like that, clicking on these will actually open up the full list. But if you don't have that, when you click on these or this screen, you get the actual screen of the student. And let's just look at a couple things that are going on here. First of all, this follow active tab is turned on automatically when you do this. And what that does is whatever tab, this will follow what the student is doing. So you notice that as I'm clicking on a different tab for the student, it's switching in this screen. And this is happening pretty much real time. There's not really much delay that I'm seeing from this. So that's what follow the active tab does for you. And that may be good if you're trying to see if a student's bouncing around a little bit, just to kind of see what their workflow is. As soon as you decide you want to look at one of these, let's say I want to look at Schoology, you'll notice that the active tab turns off. And you do have the flexibility to go through and click on each of the tabs to see what they are for the student. You can also close them. So if you decided that this is a site that they don't need to be on, you could just click the X and that would close it for the student. And so now it's gone. And just to double check, let's look at the student screen. You can see that now that Khan Academy is no longer one of their tabs. You can open a site for students. So just like we have done with the other options, where you have this open site right here, and as a class tool you can open site for everyone. If you are actually looking at the student screens and you really want to open the site for them, you would simply click on that, type in the web address and click open, and then that would open that tab for them here. If you wanted to chat with them, you could do it from this screen as well. You have some options down here at the bottom that you can do as well. So if, for instance, the student, let's say they were doing a project in Canva and you wanted all the students to see them, you could click on this go full screen. That would take everything away and just show their screen. And then that could be something that you could show on your board if you wanted other students to see it. And take out all these other distractions. You can do a screenshot. So if they're on a site that maybe you feel is inappropriate or they shouldn't be, or if they're doing something good you want to take a screenshot of, you can do that. As soon as you do that, it's going to say, do you want to download it? You say yes, and then you can see that that automatically downloaded that screenshot for me. The other thing you can do is create a rule, and we will do this quickly here because we'll discuss rules in more detail later. But what create a rule does is allow you to, let's say that this is a site that you don't want any students to get to, and since you found it with this student, you want to just block it. So you can say create a rule. It will grab that web address and give you the option to set this as a blocked site, or maybe it's an allowed site that you want to do. And then you also have the option to either do it for just that one student, or you can do it for the entire class. So if I was to add this for just the student, you'll see that that tab closed. It's no longer an option. If they tried to go back to it, it would not allow them to do it. You can see that there is one rule now that's been applied. This is where that rule lives, and if I no longer wanted to block this for them, or wanted to allow it for a little bit for them as a reward and then block it back again later, I can do that. If I just want to get rid of it, I can click on this pencil and I can say delete the rule, and now it's gone. So those are the basics when you open the screen of what you can do when you're viewing student devices.